So I was not always passionate about personal finance or investing or saving or budgeting for that matter. But I did become passionate about all these things along the way. And along this same way, there are a few money lessons that I have learned that kind of screwed up my life. No, I'm joking. Definitely changed my life for the better. Hey everyone, welcome to Mind Leaves. My name is Minika. I hope you're having a healthy, wealthy day. On this channel, we usually talk about topics regarding personal finance, financial freedom, investing, and just purpose in life. So if you are new here, welcome, and you can consider subscribing down below if these topics are something you find interesting. So in today's video, I kind of reflected back on the past few years, reading through some old journals, looking at my previous goals or our previous goals and seeing what we have achieved and what we haven't achieved yet, hopefully, and just evaluating some of the most important lessons, but most importantly, financial lessons that I have learned along this journey. So I decided to make a video about it. So here are the top 6 money lessons that I have learned in my short life, and also some advice that I would give to my younger self. Thus, I would speak or preach to my younger self a few times. Let's get into it. The first lesson, and what I deem the most important rule of money, is you can't spend more than you make. Yes, Minika, don't start buying things on credit or anything that you don't have the money for right now. It's just an unhealthy, bad financial habit to get used to. I heard a very simple explanation of this the other day. So, say for example, you are working for Mike, and Mike gives you 5 apples every day. If you only get those 5 apples, you cannot eat 6 or 7 apples. Don't go and borrow extra apples from someone else. You will always owe them those apples back. What you should do is only eat 2 or 3 apples a day, save the others, or go plant an apple tree. For when the day comes where Mike doesn't give you those apples anymore, you are good and you have your own apples now. Okay, so I think a few places where we easily fall into this habit is, firstly, credit at clothing or electronic or any stores actually. They really try hard to sell to you why buying on credit is a good idea and why you deserve to have whatever they are selling to you right now, even though you don't really have the money for it right now. It's just because they make a ton of money out of your small monthly payments. Another area where I think we can easily get accustomed to this habit is by using credit cards for your everyday spending for the purpose of getting reward points. Alright, now I know, even I love to get those reward points, especially because you would have bought groceries or fill up your car anyway, and you might as well get the reward points for it. But I think it's crucial for self-discipline to walk hand in hand with using your credit card on a daily basis. The thing is, a credit card was designed for you to swipe without having immediate consequences. So what happened to my husband in his first year of being in the workforce is actually the perfect example. So he had a credit card, and 5 or 6 days prior to his salary being paid, his spending money would usually be depleted, and he would start using his credit card just to make it through the last few days. So not crazy money, just a couple of $100 maybe. But as soon as he got his next salary, he was already a couple of $100 behind that he immediately needs to pay back. And this is just a never-ending cycle because there is no structure or any rule that enforces you to be responsible. And just realize, well, my money is finished, I can't spend anymore. That is why and how credit cards are designed, to make you spend money you don't have. And unfortunately, we see it as this lifeline that can help us through a month. But in reality, it's just a crutch. And if you don't learn to walk without it, you will always be dependent on it. The second lesson that I've learned is that money cannot give you happiness or purpose in life. Okay, so this makes me think of this saying that is hanging somewhere in our house. It says, the key to happiness is having dreams, and the key to success is making your dreams come true. Alright, so I don't know about you, but I have asked questions like what is my purpose, or what is my dream in life, or what really gives me joy? And I wondered, am I busy living that life or living that dream right now? In fact, I think a few people know what their exact dreams are. According to me, it's not something you just know. It's something you discover. A verb. intentionally. For me specifically, I still don't know what I am passionate about 100%, but I know I am attempting because I have learned that your passion doesn't exactly come knocking at your door and introduces itself to you. And right at this point is where money comes into play because you have to work hard for money every day. And you might not always have the time or the will to try and discover your passions.
And that's not a fun idea.
But what money might do is buy you time and space to figure out what really makes you happy. And that's why it's important to treat money with respect because the opposite might also happen. If you don't respect it or manage it well, it can take away your freedom and space. The third lesson that I've learned is that a big salary does not always equal financial stability. This was actually one of the best lessons that I have learned. I know I've mentioned this part in a really old video on this channel, can't remember which one, but this lesson was inspired by the book The Millionaire Next Door, which we read in our first year of marriage. Just some quick context, after we got married, we moved to South Korea for about 2 years, and for us, we had the life. So it was a really great experience for a few reasons, but the best one is that we had no financial stress. And I really wanted to make it last forever. So I immediately went down a spiral of what is the best job that I can get with my degree that will give me the highest paying salary possible? Or what $1 million idea are we going to come up with to make us a lot of money so that we can continue with this carefree living? Okay, and I remember it very clearly. We were out on a short hike where my husband told me about this book, where a lot of myths about everyday millionaires were exposed. Now, the book talks about like teachers and firefighters that retire as millionaires, not because of the size of the salary, but just because of the actions they took with the money they did receive and how they spend and invested it. And on the other hand, how high-paying citizens have a tremendous high lifestyle and that they are usually one paycheck away from being broke or in big financial trouble, just because of their high standard of living and the amount of expenses they have each month. So what I have learned is that although a bigger salary can be a significant tool for you to use to create financial peace, it does not guarantee it. It's what you do with the money that you do receive, no matter what the size of your salary. The fourth lesson, what you can control, you should control. Minika, life is gonna happen. And you know what? It's not always fair. You can't always control every little detail of life. You can't control what happens in the economy. You can't control what happens in government. You can't control other people's choices or opinions or even their opinions of you. But what you can control is you, your decisions, and what happens in your house. And what I have heard from some pretty successful people so far is controlling what happens in your own home is the most important kind of control. And it's a concept that will keep you sane. Focus on things you can change, your decisions, what you do, how you think, how you react. Like Gary Vaynerchuk always says.
If you can't save money, maybe your car is too nice or your apartment is too big. If you struggle to make all your payments, have less payments.
If your environment makes you unhappy, change your crowds or change the situation that you are in. And that's it. Only you can do it for you. All right, number 5, compound effect is really the 8th wonder of the world. One piece of great advice I have heard, and you most probably heard the same advice as well, was, wait for it, start small and keep going. As easy as that, the best advice I've ever heard. But for me, and I think of a lot of other people, taking this advice seriously is hard because it is so simple and so approachable and just too easy. It can't be it, right? Start small and keep going. I mean, who doesn't want to play big right away and have big results right away? But right here is where I think the majority of people who start out with financial goals or any other big idea or dream get easily discouraged or demotivated. Because you go all in, give your everything for a moment and a half, you don't get the results you aim for, and then give up without even giving the power of compound effect to take its course. Overnight success is not that common, but night after night success is much more realistic. And that's it. All the little action steps add up. The last life lesson, you're gonna make mistakes. Will happen, but
You will learn a heck of a lot.
You're not going to be a flawless investor or entrepreneur or overnight millionaire from day one. In our case, we've had some bad luck when it came to transferring money. We didn't do our homework thoroughly and we ended up losing quite a bit of money whilst attempting to exchange money in an attempt to save on fees. It sucked. It still does. But it's part of life. Will we ever make the same mistake again? Probably not. So Monica, try to learn from other people's mistakes rather than making them all on your own. And these are just a few lessons that I will always treasure. Treasure always? Always treasure. Thank you, time. I hope you guys found some value. Let me know in the comments down below. I hope you have a fantastic day, a wonderful, healthy, wealthy life, and I will see you in the next one.